Hi. Sorry about that. My browser died and the video was terminated. So I'm making a second part in a separate video to make sure it doesn't get deleted, the other one. So I was talking about that landscape, right? So let me show you. Let me just check that we are recording. Yes, we're recording here. We're recording here. Yes. Okay. So let me show you. Okay. So that landscaper, right? So that landscaper, and this is documented in a video maybe 2 months ago, right? So these water tanks that they have are markers of prominence, and so because they offer, I think it's because they offer an elevated point of surveillance, both optically and also for the radio frequency spectrum, right? So where you see these, at least in Katy, where you see these water tanks, nearby there's somebody very important, right? Like Robert Mueller or So this landscaper is a landscaper. He looks. I'm not gonna do racial profiling, but if you ask me, like my opinion, right? Like when I see him, I think he could be a descendant from an Arabic country, like from an Arabic family, right? Um, and he has very distinctive, right, that I can recognize from far away. And I've had at least 3 incidents involving him harassing me, right? So when I see him, I recognize him immediately. And he works, I mean, his office is inside of this perimeter that protects the water tanks, which is an importance marker, right? So he must be very important operationally because he works inside of the water tanks, basically, right? And one of the incidents was exactly here in this area, right? And you see, yeah. So anyhow, yesterday I was going. I went to pick up Marcelo, and then we went somewhere else, and we were driving on this street. He's coming out from this dirt street or road over here, and he intercepted us. No, sorry, not in here. In here, right? So yeah, so he was coming out from this water plant road, it's called, and exactly here I saw him, right? So his car was at 29.70549, longitude minus 95.82568. And I have to say, all the previous incidents are recorded in the cold mobile cameras, right? So I have multiple footage evidence of him harassing me. So yesterday he was coming out in it was a blue compact car, right? A tiny car like a Nissan Versa or similar. And that car has the Bizarro flashlights. And I know because I was inside of the Tesla, the black Tesla my former partner was driving, and the cameras of that car are sensitive to that frequency of infrared light. And this is already documented even in the books, right? So the car that he was, well, he was in the car, he wasn't driving, he was the passenger, and a woman was driving. And this is also another operational pattern. This is the level of cowardice, level 3, right? And it's also documented in the book. When they see risk, then they get women to drive them around while they, do the harassment or the surveillance. I mean, the men, right? No, sorry. This is the cowardice level 2. Right, that's the level 2. The level 3 is when they stay at the Fritos factory or at the water tank, and the women alone are the only ones doing the surveillance. So apparently, yesterday was a day level 2, is what I'm trying to say. And this is consistent with the observation of all these cats suddenly behaving differently than in the last 11 years. Right? It's consistent. Something is happening. Of course, I don't have visibility into what that is exactly. But something is definitely going on, right? Anyhow, he intercepted us exactly at that corner, right? And we were driving on South Fry Road towards the east, right? And then he followed us 2 cars behind. But I could see the car because I recognized him when he was at this corner that I mentioned before, right? I saw his face, and I saw he was in the passenger seat and a woman was driving. So level 2 cowardice, right? And And I saw that he was following us 2 cars behind. So there was a car in the middle, but he was behind that car. And I saw the Bizarro flashlights in the black Tesla, and I recorded the screen of the black Tesla showing. I have a recording of that car having the Bizarro flashlights, right? So it's just more evidence against that agent. Okay. Next, it wasn't an incident really, but I saw somebody, fit in the description of these agents that they've been using the last 2 weeks, minus the child. This one didn't have the child, but it would fit the same description of the last incidents, right? I mean, Caucasian, probably Eastern European. And he was following me, intercepting me constantly. We were at the Michael's store that is next to, let me tell you exactly where, Target West Highway. So in this shopping mall, right, there is an Office Max, and there is Michael's, right? So we went at Michael's, and that's the first time I saw him following me, right? He was even inside the store. And then I go out, I go to Office Max, I see him there. And then I go out and I sat myself in more or less in this, I think it's this bench over here, right? And then I saw him 2 other times, like following, right? Like he was basically following. And then when I get, so 5 times, when I get in the car, he also then intercepted me again, but now this time driving a car. And I took the plate of that car. So that car was, let me see, I have my notes here. It was another older silver sedan. I think it was a BMW, but older model, maybe 2000s, right? And the plate was a vanity plate, black. And it read Texas, so it was a Texas plate, number 3, Delta, India, Robert, Tango, Jojo, 5, number 5. So if you read it, it would say 3, duty 5. And he was Caucasian, mid-30s, blue pants, blue t-shirt, and 5 interceptions in about 5 minutes. Let me see if I have anything else. Yeah, no, I think that's it for today. So I'm going to close this session, but I think the most important item is the potential for turning the proximity of the 2 hearings in a court proceeding being below the threshold of what is an allowable or acceptable notice, legally speaking, in that jurisdiction for a legal document in court. And when you see that happening, it's probably the TTP in action. And I'm mentioning that not only because it would allow, identification of perpetrators, but also because it would allow identification, and more importantly, because it would allow identification of targets. Right? And they need to know that they're being targeted, because if you don't know that they're doing this, imagine what chances do you have. Well, I guess put this in perspective, right? Me being totally aware and having the geo index, right? It is a difficult task to, protect myself. Imagine what it would be to somebody who's not even aware that they're targeted by them, right? So it's important to tell them that they're targeted. So with that, I'm going to close this session. Thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you.